if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast, where we are talking about all things Hallmark. And tonight, all things one calls the heart. We start off with Elizabeth and her diary entries. I have to say, I'm really digging the whole Elizabeth sitting by the window and writing in her diary. I kind of want Jeanette Oak to write a book that's just Elizabeth's diary entries because she's so inspiring to me.
So that was a thing at the beginning of the series, right? Or is this a new thing now that she's a writer?
I think it was like season 1.
Yeah, and in the pilot, the one with Poppy and what's her name? The blonde girl? Maggie Grace?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So young Elizabeth she wrote in her diary, and that was a big storyline in that pilot. So I kind of like how they're bringing it back and bringing the diary.
And the picture of Jack and her in the background. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah. So that's all fun and dandy, and we get into the whole episode. Where do you guys want to start?
So you guys like the voiceover thing?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
I kind of hate that as a narrative device, but I mean, I understood it for when Abigail left, and they were like, let's establish where Abigail went.
Yeah.
It's probably just because Vampire's Diaries did it, and I hated that part of it.
Oh. I've never seen it, so
I never seen it either.
What? You guys, first of all, it's a little bit scandalous, so...
Not Hallmark approved.
Hallmark chastity. I'm going to say that right now. But if you like not that, but just like vampires and drama, it's good.
Okay. I'm not a big vampire fan.
I'm not a vampire fan.
That's why I watch One Calls the Heart. So.
There you go. And I like Hallmark.
Anyway. So, yeah, let's talk about Jesse and Gowan.
Good. Thank you for not burying the lead here. Gowan is the most important part of the show. Everyone knows this.
Yes. So Jesse decides he's going to go play big boy. And he is going to go sue Gowan because he thinks he has been cheated off of his land. I mean, I shouldn't have to ask, but I will. What do you guys think about that?
I'm going to let Caroline go first. Because...
Oh, no. I do not like that storyline. I was like, Gowan is not wrong. Gowan is not wrong. And Jesse was kind of a baby.
Oh, he was such a baby. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It drove me bonkers. And then Bill being the judge, and like, he was, even though he ultimately was like, I can't convict him, you know he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes me so mad. And I hated it. And then when they were like, looks like it's not fraudulent to me, and I said, correct, because it wasn't. You're just a brat, Jesse.
So yes, I totally agree. Jesse was being a big brat. I've never been a huge Jesse fan. He's just always been like, I don't know, a big baby. Mm-hmm. He's just crazy. But I will say this was kind of my favorite Bill episodic scene. Just because I think there's a little bit of a bromance going on between Gowan and Bill does not want to admit it because he totally smirked the entire time when Jesse was going on and on about like the oil. Bill was basically like, I'm so done. Just
that was funny.
Shut up. Like, we're done. And I think a little bit towards the end, he was reverting back to, season 1 Gowan, season 1 Bill, and his anger towards Gowan and, all the shenanigans back then. But I think Bill's warming up to Gowan because he could have just played dirty too. He was totally smirking. They all were. Even Lee was like, Jesse... No.
I know. The thing that was so funny to me, too, was Clara being like, I'm super supportive. Support you, babe. And it made me so mad. And then what was nefarious about getting Lucas to invest That's the thing that
I
really
know.
about Bill is he was like, now I've got him on the stand. I can learn all his personal business. That's none of mine. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That made me mad about Bill.
And Lucas in the background was smirking too. I was like, that was so funny. I watched it again. I noticed all the little stuff. And I like Lucas with that smirk. I was like, it was funny.
Yeah. So.
And I'm just going to say, I'm not the biggest Lucas fan. Like, if I have to pick, I'm picking Nathan. But really, I'm not picking either of them. I'd rather just have more time with Hickam. I don't care how it happens. But I do appreciate that Lucas sees the value of Henry. Which goes a long way in my book.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, honestly, 40% odds, that's not low. I don't know why everybody keeps saying, oh, why did you invest if it was such a low stakes? It's like 50-50 is 50-50, like flip of a coin. 40-60, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not sure thing, but it's not like 1 in a million.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's a gambler, so, I mean, gotta take the shot, you know?
Yeah, and then he even, negated some of the loss prospects by expanding where he'd be able to drill and increase the odds of him being able to find oil. Like, come on, you guys.
He's smart.
Exactly.
Smart businessman.
See? If I were Gowan, I'd be like, sure, I'll drill 40%. What do I have to lose? I mean, it's not like he was dirt poor. Like, Jesse had everything to lose because if there was a chance that there was no oil, he'd be out thousands of dollars that he does not have. I mean, it was pinching pennies.
He literally couldn't have done it because no bank could have given him a loan.
Right.
He didn't have the business contacts to find investors to help him with this thing. So the other option would be Jesse just has that land and doesn't do anything with it.
Right. Right. Whereas Gowan is filthy rich, so he can afford to lose $1,000 if he happened not to strike. I was going to say gold, but oil. So of course,
gold.
Of course,
it is a problem. Everyone knows.
Yes. So, anyways, yes.
But I'm really happy for Gowan, and I don't feel like this is over because I feel like the show is going to try to make Gowan be a bad guy somehow, and I will never believe it.
Please don't do that.
I don't know. I would be surprised if we go that route.
I don't know.
Well, it's how that Abigail's gone.
I don't think they understand that Gowan is the best. So I'm worried.
I think they like to stir the pot. I think they're just teasing us. But I don't think they're going to go back to bad Gowan.
All I want is Bill and Henry to be best friends and little grouchy old men together. That's all I want.
There you go.
They're going to be the grouchy old men sitting, in the cafe, secretly best friends, but acting like they hate each other. But we all know that they just are like, they've got this bromance going on.
I mean, I know you guys know that I'm Flo-Yo, right? I'm hashtag Team Flo-Yo. But imagine if Bill and Florence and Henry and Molly go on a double date.
Perfect.
That needs to be a thing. Look, writers, if you're listening to this, please make that a thing. That would be the best.
We would
be best.
But Bill needs a romance, so there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does have AJ, but they could do a triple date.
There you go.
AJ
and Flo-Yo.
AJ and Bill, Flo-Yo, and Molly and Gowan.
Gowan?
Yeah, and we were trying to figure out what a good name for them was. Gowley?
Gowley? That's a good one. Gowley.
Gowley. Oh, yeah, Mowen sounds like, I don't know, something crazy. Okay. Cool.
Mowen.
Sounds like mowage.
Yeah, mowage is what brings us together today.
And then we can have a triple wedding at the end of season 8.
At the end of season 8, 5 weddings.
There you go. And little Jack is the ring bearer.
Will he be old enough? Yeah,
he'll be like 3,
2,
4,
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to talk. We need to really talk about Molly's children. I know they're not involved in the show, but can we please get all of Molly's children back, please?
Molly has one, just Rosaline.
Yeah, Rosaline.
Can we just get all of the season 1 kids back, please?
They were the cutest.
The little reunion. And whatever happened to the really smart boy and that girl who's just like googly-eyed over him?
Wyatt and Jim.
And Jem. Yes.
See, we just need this.
Yes. And the Emily's oldest brother, well, both brothers, but
Gabe
Montgomery. And who did he kiss? We don't know. We still don't know. It's been 6 years.
No.
Rachel or Cassandra?
Rachel.
We need to find this out.
You think it was Rachel for sure?
I say Rachel.
I think it was Rachel.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? For real though, can we please get Molly's daughter back?
She was so cute.
We can justify the loss of Gabe because we can't because Gabe's Emily's older brother, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't move out of town because Emily's still there.
She's by herself, a child.
Yeah, her mom's still making candles.
Poor Jack.
She's the candle maker.
She is the candle maker.
She's the candle maker, yeah.
And that's where Gabe is in the candle making sweatshop.
Either that or he's been shipped off to World War I. So.
No, World War I doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't.
Oh man. Poor Hope Valley. It's
maybe it does exist, but Canada didn't get into the war.
Not Hope Valley.
Just Hope Valley. Hope Valley did not get in the war.
They did.
Canada did. Just Hope Valley.
Okay, so the rest of the Canada did. Just Hope Valley did not.
Right.
We have a protection over them.
Okay.
From all bad things.
Like a dome. Like a snow globe.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Gabe is not. Well, actually, he's not in Hope Valley. So is he in World War I?
Yeah, because he's been gone since season 2.
Or does the globe keep you safe?
If you're in the Hope Valley family, then I think you're safe from all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like
are very big deals.
Yes, mudslides and floods.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that can take you out.
Take Jack out. Sorry.
For those of you listening on audio, all 3 of us did like a uh-oh face. So. All right, we're going to stop being modeling.
All right, so let's talk about the library.
Okay.
All right. So, Lucas decides to gift the town a building for the library. And at first Elizabeth's like, yeah. And he's like, no, I'm serious. This is for the town. And you. And hands her a key. And baby Jack's looking at him like, what in the world?
Baby Jack's like, you ain't my daddy.
So that happened. What do we think about Lucas and Elizabeth? Because she confronts him later and says, she's basically saying, are you hitting on me? Because I don't know about this.
She's like, my husband literally died 10 seconds ago, okay?
And I have a small child.
And my best friend just left town unexpectedly. I don't have time for this shenanigans, Mr. Gambler, sir. Part of me actually did wonder if Lucas did this, not just as a ploy to get Elizabeth's favor, but as a way to garnish some goodwill with the people of the town.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. He kind of seemed to friend zone her for sure. People are not going to like me saying that, but it seemed a friend zone-y to me.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Because I read that when a boy says to me, so we're friends, right? And I go, oh my gosh, of course. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you thought there was more. That was just we're totally misreading the situation, but we can laugh about this. This is fine. And then I go home and I cry why doesn't he love me? That's how I read that situation.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seemed very I was into you at one point, and now I'm kind of not because you're too good.
Talk, he does not seem like the kind of guy who would be like, there's lots of single gals here. I'm going to pick the one with a new baby.
Right.
I say Fiona.
Yeah, Fiona. But, like, Fiona would be great. But, like, he just doesn't seem like, he might think that she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he would pursue it.
I don't think, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Right away, at least. I don't think.
At least not
No.
till the kid's older.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what he said. He was attracted to her beauty, but what even attracted him more was her goodness. And then he was basically like, I wrote it here. He said, I wanted a library because it seemed like a good thing. No disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's such a friend zone thing to say. Like, yeah, I think you're pretty, but even more so, you're just a good person. So I decided to help you out. Cool beans. Bye. I don't know. I was Team Lucas hardcore because I really wanted Elizabeth with someone who could shake her up and not be as good, because I don't know, she needs a little spice in her life.
There you go.
But the more I don't see it.
I don't see, like, I was all Lucas during the filming, part, and now that I see, like, Nathan, I'm like, oh, Nathan, like, I don't know.
I'm honestly not feeling either one. If I had to pick one between them, I would pick Nathan. But for real, and I know I joked about Hickam, but I don't see the Hickam thing. They've been in the same town together for 18 years, and they haven't even had dialogue together. So I don't see it coming. But I mean, let's bring back Charles.
I said Charles.
Yes. I'd be down for Charles.
Billy.
Billy would be amazing. I don't see it happening. I think he's in jail. But Charles, he's not in jail, and he's just rich.
And he knows her, so like it's not like a brand new love interest,
Yeah, and
Right.
Hope Valley's starting to become like a legit town because they have the railroad, and now they're going to have a big oil operation in addition to the coal mine where Madison Smith works, and it's legit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're going to very soon get to have Rosemary's Theater.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. About time.
I need this to happen.
Okay, so since we're on the topic,
Let's ask a question real quick. Sorry.
Go ahead.
If you had to have a library for Elizabeth or a theater for Rosemary, which one would you pick?
Just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, not like you're a person in the town.
I need Rosie to have that theater. Like I need it just because Lee. It's just so funny. Lee and Rosie. Team theater.
You're asking me to pick between two loves.
But it's not for you.
Theater.
Not for you. Like, you're not a citizen of Hope Valley. You are still yourself watching Hope Valley.
Yeah.
Would you
watching Hope Valley, I am still conflicted because books, smart, entertainment, good things to read, or
you're not going to read any of those books.
Yeah, but the kids are going to read them. They're going to be smart. They need to be well educated so that they can repopulate the rest of Canada.
They still have the books.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll have to go with the theater.
I knew I could win this argument.
Yeah, that's true. And Lee has promised this since season 2, 4 years ago.
But Ben tweeted at me because I said Rosie needed her theater. He said he did build one, so she does have one. So, but it's in the woods.
Ben built it?
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, sorry, Hickam built it.
I believe that Hickam built his own Rosemary stage, and Rosemary goes out there and practices, and like nobody else goes, but like Hickam goes every time and has to bring her flowers because he's that good of a boy.
Mm-hmm.
How you're like secretly best friends with Ben Rosenbaum?
Yeah, me.
How does he feel about being the mayor?
I haven't asked him yet, but I'm sure he'll love it.
Okay, I don't know if this has gotten on the podcast yet. Has it? Have we talked about Ben being mayor?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, and when I say Ben, apparently I really mean Hickam.
Hickam Ben, same thing.
I'm going to pretend like his name is Michael Ben Hickam. Anyway, we have a new dream that we want Hickam to be the mayor of Hope Valley. Mm-hmm. And right now we are just a vocal minority, but we will make this happen.
Hashtag
with your support.
Mike for mayor.
Hashtag Mike for mayor. Hashtag Hickam for Hope Valley.
Yes. Join the movement.
And if you want to join in our campaign, little plug, you can go buy a Mayor Hickam t-shirt.
You guys, and I'm really proud of it. So, so please buy them.
We'll put a link.
Like, you don't even have to buy the t-shirt. There, you can buy a sticker for like $1.
Yeah, or a mug.
Oh. Anything really. Pillows.
Anything. Yeah.
Wall art.
Y'all think we're joking. We're not joking.
We're not joking.
Link.
This is legit. So, like, we'll have a link to our merch store in the description, or you can just go to hallmarkiespodcast.com and then go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
Indeed. Yep.
Money well spent.
All right.
All proceeds will go towards the Hickam for Hope Valley campaign fund.
All right.
Sorry, we got distracted.
Sorry.
So since we talked about Elizabeth and Lucas, and we started delving into who do we want for Elizabeth, let's think about this. So we have Lucas and Elizabeth. The general consensus that the three of us have is meh. Nate and Elizabeth.
I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't feel like a lot of chemistry between them.
I need more scenes with them, to really.
Yeah. I think I just like him.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. But the majority of their scenes are just like them fighting, but not like at all in a way that would inspire passion, romance passion, because it's just about a child. And then, or him being like, okay, I have to go save someone's life.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just like him, Mountie Nate, better than I like Lucas. Yeah, and it's nothing. It's just how their characters have been written. I like Lucas. I like Nate better.
For Elizabeth more, but there's neither of them are.
Yeah, I haven't swung one way completely yet. So
50-50.
Yeah. So then there's also, who else? We said there's Elizabeth and Carson, which will probably never happen now. But that has been talked about. Thoughts on that?
I couldn't see that. Like I was hoping it wouldn't be Elizabeth and Carson, during the, right before season 6 started filming. I'm like, are they going to do it? But I'm glad they didn't do it.
I really thought they were going to do that if they did not do the whole team infirmary thing. Just because of all their scenes together. And I was like, I feel like they're getting set up here.
I think that maybe they were doing it, but then everybody was so gung-ho, like Faith and Carson, so maybe they just kind of scratched it.
Yeah. I feel like it could have worked because they are both widows. They could have helped each other with their grief. They both liked helping people. She liked helping children. He liked helping sick people. I feel like it could have worked.
I would have liked it better than what's going on now.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm just going on record. I don't know if I've already gone on record. My memory does not last past 6 days. I don't really feel the chemistry between Faith and Carter and Carson. This is the Carson. Faith and Carson. I like them both individually. I liked when they were like a team, like a coworker team. I reject the thing that men and women can't just be friends, but I mean, they can't be friends now because they've like dated. But I don't feel it.
I don't either.
I think I could see it.
Well, we're making us see it. It's literally on the TV, so we don't have a choice. But I don't super feel it. And I really did feel at least some between Elizabeth and Carson before. So I think that's the problem, is that I felt way more between Aaron Krakow and Paul Green.
Yeah.
It's still between them now. So
I think part of that too is I don't know about you guys, but I felt the romantic tension between Carson and Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Even when, okay, this is gonna sound really bad, but even when Jack was still alive, there was a scene where Carson's sister-in-law comes and she's like, rah, rah, rah. He's a terrible person. He's like, I have to leave Hope Valley. And then she finds him. Jack's been away. And Elizabeth and Carson are standing there talking, and she's trying to convince him to come. And I'm like, as a viewer, I was like, wait a sec. There's something here. Like their chemistry was there. So
well, Aaron has chemistry with like everybody, I think, So like I could feel it better with Carson, with Paul.
Yeah, with Paul. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think there's a difference though between being a good scene partner and having good scene chemistry than having romantic chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So far we have Carson and Elizabeth, Nate and Elizabeth, Lucas and Elizabeth. Then there's
but Charles and Elizabeth.
Charles.
Charles
top choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. Charles and Elizabeth. I never thought I'd say that ever. But
Shane and Elizabeth have now met or come back.
Was his name Shane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his name was Shane.
I'm Team Shane. Bring back Shane.
Oh yeah, they also had romantic chemistry too.
Everything. And I just like now. So.
Yeah. And then here's a wild one. Billy Hamilton's very good twin brother, just so that we can have Andrew Walker back.
There you go. He did say that one time he wanted to come back. Andrew did.
Invited them to Thanksgiving. Her dad also had a heart attack, and Faith goes off. And then we see Faith and Carson talking, and she's like, I might have to stay here indefinitely. So I don't know. I that storyline's kind of weird to me, just because I don't know. They were so romantically quick, and now it's like, oh, now we have a roadblock. So it's like almost forced.
Well, I just think it's a narrative device to put their relationship on pause so they don't get married before season 7.
Do you think Faith's going to come back before the end of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people on Twitter were saying that no. So
they don't think that she's coming back?
Yeah, they think that's a cliffhanger.
Well, actually, how many...
There's 2 episodes left.
In the past, how many episodes has she been in? She hasn't been in every episode right?
No. She's only in like half of the episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could really lead to this trueness that she's only here for, the first half of the season, and now she's out.
Right.
For the back part.
Yeah.
So that's more production than story, but I could see her not coming back until next season.
Yeah. Till Christmas, they could have a run and jump and kiss. Reunion. or like he could go get her.
Yeah. Well, he was going to go for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see there. We also have here the whole haunted house storyline with the kids.
Yes. Big fan.
So, why didn't you tell us you're a big fan?
Why am I a big fan?
Yes.
It was actually really enjoyable to have the kids have a storyline that wasn't based entirely on something they learned in school. And that's it. I mean, most of the storylines are just like Elizabeth taught them about being a pirate, so they were being pirates, or Elizabeth taught them about inertia, so they rolled down a hill. I don't know. I can't think of good examples, but it was nice to actually give them some sort of autonomy to come up with their own storyline instead of just like fighting with kids. So I really liked it as far as that went. I thought it was hilarious when she rocked the chair. I don't really understand why she got in trouble.
Yeah, that is, yeah, I completely agree. I was very confused because she didn't do anything malicious.
She was just teasing them.
Yeah.
And not even in a mean way.
I think it was more like Opal going, you know. I think it was more on that end that she got hurt.
Yeah, but that's really not Allie's fault.
Yeah. I think she was just, I don't know.
I think
also, Opal hurt her arm, so her legs couldn't work.
Okay, I will say, little kids are just weird like that. Like, they hurt one thing, and then they're just crippled for life. They can't get up, and you have to carry them. You can't
trick me. Harper and Allie could have carried her.
Yeah, Harper could have.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, they could have, but that's, you know, Opal could have made a big stink about it in the woods. She could have played Help I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up.
That is not an Opal thing to do. And so the kids would have not been also, they would have been smart enough to know, okay, we can't just stay out here in the woods all night because that's dangerous, not like just because of bears, but like because it will get cold and they'll get sick. And they are country kids. They know this.
Yeah. Well, it could have also been one of those things, too, where they were lost in the woods running. And so they might have thought, too, if we stay put, somebody will find us quicker.
That's the one part that I didn't like, was I just didn't believe that they would just sit there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have her break her leg?
I know, that would have been...
Even with her broken leg, they could have dragged her, but it would have been more reasonable. I don't know. It's fine, but I liked it. I liked it as a narrative choice to have this storyline for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. My one thing was the whole Allie thing. I think they were way too hard on her. It is not her fault that Opal got hurt. It's not her fault that Robert and Harper and Opal decided to go in the woods to find this haunted cabin.
Yeah.
I think that was ridiculous.
She didn't even invite them. She just told them
and was just like, because she knows that they're going to go, and it's funny. She's just a kid. I mean,
yeah, and
she's trying to make friends.
They are as culpable as she is for going into the woods.
Right. So
whatever.
That was my thing. I was like, we're too hard on this kid. Give me a break. So,
but oh well, everyone lived,
and it was funny though.
It was so funny.
It was funny. Jada's such a cute little actress. Like I love watching her.
Yeah, and it's funny. She kind of looks like Kevin McGarry. It's kind of odd. She could totally pass for his in real life niece. I think. Like they've got the dimples going on.
Yeah.
So
they're cute together.
And we still don't know exactly what happened to her mom.
She died.
She died.
Just that she died. That's all we know.
She died, yeah. She died, and then Dad left him.
And Grandma's too old.
Grandma's too old, and Granddad's in jail. Which was another interesting layer we peeled tonight about Mountie Nate.
And why he joined the Mounties.
What did his dad do? What did he say?
I think he, at least what I think is, like, he was stealing, but I don't know.
I think, they alluded to him stealing.
I feel like he has to have had some sort of, like, gambling con man thing, which is why he's...
he doesn't like Lucas.
That's why he did that. That's what I have to think it has to be.
Yeah. That makes complete sense. I mean, that was definitely a thing with Kat Montgomery's husband back in season 1. Wasn't he gambling or something like that and swindling off their money? And then she had to pay off their debts or whatever. So, I mean, Western towns, gambling.
Well, and that's just a gambling thing. It's everybody. I mean, and Lucas literally owns the saloon where they gamble.
So, makes sense to me.
Anyway, I liked it. I liked finding out about Nathan's past. I just wish they'd just tell us really fast. Like, I don't need all this drawn out stuff. Just tell us. Also, it's more fun for the audience if we know something that the people don't know.
I like those too.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if well, I guess scenes wouldn't have been cut from that because Abigail wouldn't have known because Abigail was there, so she would just kick them out or something like that. So I guess, yeah, we'll find out next week though.
I'm excited about
I'll
next
be
week.
excited. But before we get to next week, let's talk about our favorite couple.
America's favorite couple.
America's favorite
And
couple. The world's favorite couple. The Hardys' favorite couple. You guys know who we're talking about, right?
Hashtag Rosalie.
Oh, they were so sweet.
Okay, so Rosemary is babysitting baby Jack.
That was
because Elizabeth had to go take care of the kids' shenanigans. Lee comes in and she's like, "Don't wake up baby Jack." And then they have their conversation.
Oh.
Thoughts on this?
I mean, Pascal and Kevin, they rocked that scene. Like, it was so powerful, I think. Like, I was amazed on how emotional Rosemary got. I just thought it was neat to see her different side of her character.
Yeah. And I can't say enough good things about Pascal. She is such an amazing actress, and Kevin, and their chemistry is so amazing. And like, even though they do have a great romantic chemistry, I love that they have been able to mature their romantic chemistry as their characters have also matured. There's just, I can't say enough good things about them and their storyline and how they are adapting it from the script. They're incredible.
They're just amazing.
They are.
Yeah.
They need some kind of award.
They really do.
They're fantastic. I mean, that's a very hard situation to be in real life. Not or thinking that you're not able to have children. And so to portray that on screen too, and they both have kids, Kevin and his wife, and Pascal and her husband, they both have 2 boys each. So I feel like they were able to kind of empathize, like, what if we didn't have our children, or you know, what if we were really Rosemary and Lee? Just because that's a very hard topic, you know, and it's very fragile. And I think they did an excellent job being vulnerable. I'm not gonna lie, I was like crying.
I did cry. I was like, oh,
it was amazing.
Yeah. And I think for Rosemary as her character too, and I can understand this because it's hard for me sometimes to be vulnerable. And for Rosemary, I think she wasn't going to say anything. Like, we know this. We've seen her struggle with not opening up. And I love that Lee was able to bring it out of her and tell her that everything was going to be okay. And that, yes, you are going to talk to me whether you like it or not. And it just shows their, like Amber said, maturity as a couple and their growth, and hashtag all the feels.
Oh no.
So then Rosemary talks to Elizabeth. Elizabeth also knows something's wrong, and she opens up to, not Pascal, Rosemary opens up to Elizabeth. I found that scene really touching too. And it's hard from Elizabeth's standpoint, and in real life, it's hard when you have a child and you have friends that have either lost children that would have been the same age as your own, or are not able to have kids. And I think that Elizabeth and Rosemary's friendship really shows, you know, how we can be encouraging to others who are struggling with this, because this is not an easy topic to talk about. It's hard to empathize, and you almost have like a survivor's guilt idea. Just because, like, I had a friend who lost her child. She would have been, the child would have been around my kid's age too. And it was very hard. And it's like, what do you say to your friend who, you know, can't have a kid and you have one?
Yeah. And and both of their facial expressions, Pascal's and like Aaron's, like you can totally tell that line that they were like showing, like Elizabeth was like looking at baby Jack, and like while listening to Rosemary talk about not having a child, you can totally see that emotion coming through to both of them. It was powerful, I think.
Right.
It was amazing. It was so good. I don't really even know what else I can say.
I know. I keep saying amazing, powerful.
Yes. I'm glad they are taking this route, because you know you don't see these storylines come up every day, and they're hard storylines. It's fragile. I mean, it needs to be talked about. And how do we support our friends going through the same thing too?
It being Rosemary and Lee, how they're always so joyful and playful and like happy, and seeing them that like vulnerable, I think it's neat to watch on screen.
All right. And now I'm going to say something about production on this, because remember when production was like, no, we can't have World War I because Hope Valley is like a place where it's an escape or whatever. This is why we watch When Calls the Heart, to see real people with their faith and with hope deal with difficult things. So we could have had World War I and dealt with that and done it with hope, because this is very personal and very difficult, and we are able to get through it together, for lack of a better phrase. And it's such a strong storyline. It's way better than, is the railroad going to come to the town? Because, I mean, frankly, who cares about the railroad?
There's real stakes
involved. We care about Rosemary.
Right.
And that's why this storyline is so compelling, because it's a personal storyline, and I love it.
Yep. Yes, I completely agree. We connect with the people. We don't connect with the oil or the train, etc. I mean,
and I know it affects our characters when there's no trains and there's no oil, but it only affects our characters in so much as, will this force them to leave Hope Valley to find jobs somewhere else? So, I mean, that's why I just wish we spent more time with the characters dealing with real life things, as opposed to dealing with entrepreneurial pursuits.
Right.
The emotional scenes are what draws us in the most, I think. Like the last season, the finale, the funeral and everything, that was so good. And then this episode was so powerful, and it was emotional. So I think the more emotional it is, the more drawn in we are.
Yeah. Right. And I'm not saying I want to live in this, dealing with, emotional things every time. Like, let's have fun. Let's have the kids pretend to be ghosts. Balance. Right. Because life is not all...
It's not all fun and dandy, but it's not all tears and sadness either. And I think that's what why a lot of people were drawn to When Calls the Heart in season 1, because season 1 was very character driven.
Yeah, because all of the characters were dealing with that immense loss. And I do think it's something that they got away from a little bit, where all that the people cared about was the railroad. And I think that the loss of Jack, I think that the loss of Abigail has really forced the show to
go back.
Reevaluate and go back. And I think the show's better for being able to focus more on these personal issues and personal relationships, as opposed to, these grander devices that are causing problems, but not so much personally.
Right. So
I think so too.
Sorry, I just needed to say that out loud.
No, I completely agree. You are
spot
on the nail.
But that being said, bring back Charles.
Yes, Charles in plaid and suspenders.
Oh yeah.
Team
Marcus. Yeah, there you go. We need a good shopping
let's
scene.
not even necessarily bring back Charles for Elizabeth, but let's just have Charles come into town and have Hickam and Charles both trying to date the same girl.
Oh yeah, and have a wood chopping scene for Hickam and Charles.
They could be in a Hope Valley competition.
Yes.
Where there is wood chopping.
Yes, I like this. Season 7. Here we go.
Season 7.
Yes.
It would be amazing.
Yes.
It will be. So, final thoughts on last night's episode?
It was so good.
It was so good, yeah. It was my favorite of the season so far.
Yeah, it really was. I don't really think that there was anything that I really disliked. I mean, sometimes I just get irritated with Bill, but that doesn't mean that I disliked any of the courtroom stuff, because ultimately Gowan was vindicated, and that dispute works for me, because they're both characters that we care about.
Mm-hmm. Right. And we see their growth too.
Over.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it's over.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys want to jump into comments?
Yeah. Comment time.
Yeah.
It's comment time. When you call the heart, then you call comment time. That's our new theme song. I just made
I like that. That was beautiful.
That's the best. All right. So we have here Ashley T. She is at Mrs. Roadpack. She says, the moment between Lee and Rosemary was absolutely beautiful. It certainly seems like adoption is in their future, like many of us thought at the beginning of the season, and would tie into When Hope Calls.
Mm-hmm.
Then she also says, still don't like Elizabeth with any other man. I feel like season 1 Jack. And she has a gif. I love this gif. It's of Elizabeth talking to Billy Hamilton, and Jack's in the background, and he's sipping his coffee, what you doing with my girl, who's not really my girl yet.
Yeah, to be fair, we're all very protective of Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Baby Jack, Elizabeth and Baby Jack. They don't mess with them.
Baby Jack, who Kaycee and I call JJ.
Oh,
JJ.
I like JJ.
Jack Jr. JJ. Valerie Spencer says, absolutely loved it. Marianne C. Valerie Spencer's handle is True Hallmark Fan on Twitter. Marianne C. She is at Mare C. MAREC07. She says, when Elizabeth flinched at Lucas, or as Lucas reached for the book, see tweet, she has a tweet that she retweeted, and the way she exhaled when he left the library, ... something is brewing, and I don't know what it is, but I think I'm okay with it. And the tweet she retweeted, she wrote, that moment with Chris McNally reaching for the book next to Aaron Krakow gave me some major Joe Fox, Kathleen Kelly vibes. # you got mail, # Hardee's. And it's a GIF that you guys have to check out. It's of him telling her to kind of hush. And they're staring at each other. Mm-hmm. So you guys should go check that out. Wendy Farley, she is at Wendy_Farley1. She says, excellent episode, as good as the good old days, just like we were just talking about a few minutes ago. So yes, bringing it back to the season 1 character growth episodes. Val Shrine says, Rosemary and Lee are amazing. They keep on getting better and better. They are certainly why I visit the Valley each week. A bit sad to see the team infirmary bump in the road. I simply love how much of an ensemble it has become and how the stories touch upon everyone in Hope Valley. And again, it goes back to the characters' growth. Gagel says, Rosemary and Lee are the best. Allie is an adorable troublemaker. I don't think Faith is coming back, at least not this season. Can't wait to find out what Lucas's secret is. I'm Team Lucas in general, but that might be carried over Chris McNally's feelings from sailing into love.
That is true. I did a poll about if people are missing the Abigail storyline, and 60% said no, and 40% said they miss her. So that was interesting.
I mean, I miss Abigail, but I don't really miss what they were doing with her character.
That's what I like. That's what the storyline thing. Yeah.
I mean, like, because for so long, her character just became like the embodiment of perfect virtue. And so she didn't feel super real to me. Y'all can listen to all the past podcasts where I mentioned this, so I'll just stop. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
That was
I agree with the poll for the most part.
Yeah, I agree with Bull too. I miss Abigail's presence. I miss her as Elizabeth's friend. I miss her as, Cody's mom. I don't miss her as the mayor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not care for her as mayor.
But that was just because everything she solved. Never mind. Listen to all my old podcasts.
In a nutshell, it's because she was a paragon of virtue, and it seemed like Cody was also becoming a paragon of virtue, and I don't know. It wasn't relatable. I liked season 1, season 2 Abigail way better than later season Abigail. Just her storyline was better, I think, in the olden days. I think she's a great friend and a great mom, great person in general. Just wasn't feeling the storyline. So that's very interesting. And speaking of the episode, dun, 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 hashtag LLAU.
Hashtag LLAU.
And if you
it's time for our Lori Loughlin alternate universe. We are really good at sound effects, you guys.
The best. So, where do we think Lori Loughlin was cut out?
I think the courtroom scene, maybe.
Yeah, she was absolutely
for sure
there in the courtroom. I don't know what she would have done in the courtroom.
In the library, and I think they took out like the town council or whatever they call it meeting for the library.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I think they. Wait, no, I'm confusing that with something else. Did we see previews of that?
One thing about Elizabeth going to talk about the library to the town council. I think that was. Oh,
okay, gotcha. You'll like what I think they cut out of the courtroom scene. I think they cut her. I think she was defending Gowan.
You think?
I think I really do. I really do. I think she was like, I object. And she would insert herself and say how Gowan.
So she was like Gowan's attorney?
Basically, yeah. And Martin Cummings, somebody commented on Martin Cummings' Instagram post about how we're sad we can't see Abby Gowan or whatever the hashtag name is, and he said that he was sad.
How dare you?
So sorry.
Henry Gale.
Henry Gale. Hashtag Henry Gale. And he said that he was sad that we can't see a potential either. I took a screenshot of it. Hold on.
I do miss Henry Gale.
That's the one thing.
Because remember how preseason we heard that she was going to get her Melrose Place love interest guy? So honestly, if that was going to happen and Henry Gale wasn't going to happen, then I'm kind of glad that we're not getting anything. Because I'd rather have the promise and the dream of Henry Gale than to have it straight up murdered in front of my eyes.
Unless Gowan beats up Melrose Place guy and then takes Abigail away. But yeah,
Gowan is not a beats up a guy.
Yeah, so this person says, I'm so sad we'll never get to see Gowan and Abigail be in love. I shipped it with 41 likes as of last night.
Should have 41 million likes.
Says, me too.
Oh, Martin Cummings said, me too.
He said, me too. So he ships Henry Gale too.
I think we
hold the phone.
Oh, man.
I miss it. I'm really sad about that.
I am too. I do miss that.
Wah, wah.
Dadgummit.
Oh, you alternate universe for taunting us.
So sad. Any other places where we think, do we see Abigail's arms?
Oh,
elbows.
elbow.
And did we see
I didn't
Cody's
see
head?
any Cody. I didn't see any Abigail elbows. I don't know if you guys did you tell them that I saw Cody's head last week?
No. Did we?
I saw
don't think
Cody's
so.
forehead last week. So, whoopsie-daisy. I mean, it's no Starbucks cup in Winterfell, but it was still Cody's forehead.
Oh, man. I have to go back and rewatch.
I have to watch it, too.
I was probably too busy tweeting to notice.
It was when they were in the school and like she was talking to Allie or Opal, or they were working on their math, and he was in the row behind them on the our right of Robert.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With his head down doing his math.
Oh, Cody.
Oh, Cody.
I really want them to figure out a way to bring Cody back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He misses Hope Valley, so he has to come back.
Yeah. He's tired of Hamilton's fancy ways. He wants to come back to Hope Valley. So, Hallmarkies Pod put out a poll. Hey, #Hardies, tell us who you want to see try to court Elizabeth in season 7. You have 6 days to answer, Hardies. We want you to answer this poll. Mm-hmm. You have 4 choices: Charles, Lucas, Nathan, and Shane.
Yes.
So, so far, it's been 27 minutes. We have 22 votes, 23 votes. Somebody just voted.
Oh,
live results.
So, we want to see what you guys have to say about this.
We'll report next week.
We will. You have 6 days, Hardies.
Okay.
Go.
Go.
If you have more thoughts, you feel like we didn't talk about something adequately enough, we are going to have a new special podcast that we will record on Thursday and release on Feedback Friday, where we will take your feedback and your questions and answer them on Friday. So get your questions to us by Thursday. You can either tweet it to us at HallmarkiesPod. You can send an email to feedback@hallmarkiespodcast.com, or you can call us, leave a voicemail, and we will play your voicemail recording on the podcast. It's basically like you're being a guest host. So if you want to call that number, it's 801-855-6407. So we'll also put that in the description if you didn't catch it. So come on, you guys, let's try something new.
Yeah, it'll be so much fun.
Also, you can just be like, Amber, you're super wrong about Faith and Carson.
And I guess you can tell me that I'm crazy about Elizabeth and Carson and shenanigans.
Yes, I'm sorry Carson's not on the poll, but they only let you choose 4 people.
Are you Team Hickam, people?
Oh, if anybody wants to talk about Hickam, please leave a feedback.
Yes, we will love it. Yes. Even Kevin McGarry is Team Hickam, okay? He told me on Instagram.
See?
Yes. Caroline's best friends with him, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline's best friend, Ben.
Yeah. How'd they get him on the pod? How'd they get him?
Okay, so, and then one more thing, you guys. If being on the feedback show is not enough Hallmarkies podcast content for you, then you should become a patron of the podcast by going to hallmarkiespodcast.com/patron, and it'll take you to our Patreon page where you can pledge a little bit of money each month. You can be a part of our super exclusive Facebook group where we do all the hot gossip and get access to bonus content as well as early access to some of our other content. So feel free to check that out.
Yep.
Yes.
And we'll disclose where that Patreon money is going to. I think it's going towards new mics.
Yeah, because some of you people who are not me don't have the best mics.
Me.
So not only will you be helping the podcast get better, you'll also be having so much fun with us on Facebook.
There you go.
So there you have it. All right. You guys, it has been so much fun.
Yes.
I can't wait for the fun to begin next week when Lucas's past catches up with him.
Who saves Elizabeth?
Elizabeth stuck in a saloon with guns pointed at her head.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Where can people find you?
As always, I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it. And Caroline?
Oh, sorry. I'm Mita Caroline R on Twitter.
And I am at Hallmark My Words on Twitter. And yeah, we'll look forward to talking to you on Friday and next week. Yep. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.